Speaking of things that are strange that I never thought I would say, I am officially in support of the Pope. As of this moment, everybody, Pope Francis is my guy. So the Pope says that the free market and trickle-down policies are failing society. Pope Francis said on Sunday that the COVID-19 pandemic was the latest crisis to prove that market forces alone and trickle-down economic policies that have failed to produce social benefits their proponents claim. In an encyclical, I've never heard of this word before. Holy shit, I'm learning new things on a live broadcast. Encyclical, a paper letter to all bishops of the... Oh, no wonder I've never heard of that. Okay. In an encyclical on the theme of human fraternity, Francis also said private property cannot be considered an absolute right. What? Dude, the Pope is coming out as an anarchist right now. The Pope is like, abolish private property, motherfucker. Yo, shoutouts to the Pope. Legit, this is my guy. In all cases where some lived extravagantly while others had nothing. Again, these like Christian fundamentalist QAnon people want to deprive children of health insurance. Meanwhile, they worship a book where some dude was trying to basically steal rich people's gold and give it to poor people, where some dude was trying to feed the poor, right? I love worshiping a book about someone who is feeding the poor. Jesus was a socialist, by the way, by saying that children shouldn't have health insurance. That is the ideal way to worship Jesus, is to not provide children with health care, right? If a child has diabetes or something, can't have insulin, they can't do it, because that would just insult the free market. And I love Jesus personally. I'm a Jesus-loving Christian. I'm a Catholic, right? So obviously kids can't have health insurance, clearly, right? So some more good parts about this. The Pope took direct aim at trickle-down economics, the theory favored by conservatives that tax breaks and other incentives for big business and the wealthy will eventually will benefit the rest of society through an investment or job creation. There were those who would have had us believe that freedom of the market was sufficient to keep everything secure after the pandemic hit. He wrote, Francis denounced this dogma of neoliberal faith. Again, anarchist Pope going out here, man. Anarchist Pope just coming out, right? Just anti-fucking capitalist Pope. The neoliberals, they're gone. The faith is gone. That resorts to magic theories of spillover or trickle as the only solution to societal problems. And again, this is the Pope. This is a guy who believes in playing a flute for a snake, and that people were eating apples or something, and then all of a sudden God decided to kill everyone. This guy, right, who believes in this magical fucking fairy tale bullshit, is calling neoliberalism and conservative ideologies magical. Isn't that interesting? This guy can see through that kind of bullshit, and they believe in talking snakes, right? That's bizarre. A good economic policy, he said, makes it possible for jobs to be created and not cut. Empire of money. The 2007 to 2008 financial crisis was a missed opportunity for change. Instead of producing increased freedom for the truly powerful, who always find a way to escape unscathed, society must confront the destructive effects of the empire of money. The right to private property could only be considered a secondary natural right, derived from the principle of universal destination of created goods. He said a Vatican official said the Pope was referring to those with massive wealth. Massive wealth! Dude, the Pope is a socialist. The Pope is a communist. The Pope is an anarchist. He's bringing it back, folks. The Pope is coming back. The Pope wrote that the belief of early Christians that if one person lacks what is necessary to live with dignity, it is because another person is detaining it. That is absolutely correct. Was still valid. Again, Jesus was a socialist. He was trying to feed the poor, take from the rich, and give to the poor. He was trying to give people food. He was trying to make sure that people were alive, right? Make sure that people were healthy, right? Got proper nutrition. Now, they didn't know much about nutrition back then, but damn, they fucking tried, right? Those with much must administer it for the good of all, and rich nations are obliged to share wealth with poor ones. But he said he was certainly not proposing an authoritarian and abstract universalism. So again, the Pope is coming out as an anarchist, buddy. Anarcho-popism in here, addressing racism Anarcho-Catholicism is my new religion. Addressing racism, a key issue in the United States following the Black Lives Matter movement, Francis said racism is a virus that quickly mutates and instead of disappearing goes into hiding and lurks in waiting. Anti-racist, anti-fascist, anti-capitalist Pope Francis coming out to play. He repeatedly calls for the abolition of nuclear weapons, the death penalty, positions which have been assailed by conservative Catholics, particularly in the United States. Dude, anti-bomb, anti-death penalty. Dude, WTF? I love the Pope now. This guy's awesome. I'm going to become a Catholic as of this very moment. So, that's just, again, you love to see it. Now, where are all the religious nutbags, right, that vote Republican? Are they going to have a response to this? I'd love to see their response. I would love to see their response to this. Are you really going to go against the Pope? Are you going to say the Pope doesn't know what he's talking about? Really? You're going to go against the Pope? Really? I'd love to see that. Please leave a comment down below, and I will see that when I see it, and I will try to respond to that comment. And if you want to come on my show and tell me why the Pope is wrong about Catholicism, I would love that. But let's be honest, that's not going to happen. So, anyway, anarcho-Catholicism, that's my new religion. That's my new political ideology. We're bringing this shit back. Christianity, right? You got like the kind of good version that the Pope is espousing, and then you got the really cringy version that says you got to murder transgender people, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So like that's bad, right? Let's get that out of there. Let's bring in this anti-capitalist kind of version. I think it's good. So, that's cool.